Hey there, Regina Andler here, and it is time for Motivation Monday. This week, our theme is compassion, and we are working on some themes right now going on, likely for quite some time now, which are all related to values. And in the core values area, I rate compassion as one of those very high core values to hold. Why? What is compassion? Well, it's actually funny. I was looking up different versions of compassion in the online dictionaries, and one of them actually related it to pity. I didn't really resonate with that one at all. I don't look at compassion as pity at all. And Merriam-Webster defines it as the sympathetic consciousness of others' distress together with a desire to alleviate it. Hmm. That was kind of a complicated way to explain compassion. And I went out and I was doing a little bit of research because I was like, well, what do other people define compassion as? Because I define compassion as that innate ability for me to be compassionate to another, meaning for me to be able to understand what they're going through and to want to help them get through whatever it is that they're going through. That is what compassion means to me, which is why I hold it high as a core value, because it is my want, need, and desire and purpose to help others as best as I can be the best versions of themselves. And so compassion rates really high for me. Well, I went out, did a little bit more research, and I found this really cool. Um, I guess it is a website. I guess it's called the Pedal Mind Project, PEDAL, Pedal Mind Project, and they have a little petals on this flower that describes what they view and how they view compassion. And the first one I absolutely loved. Perfect, perfect description for me for compassion. And what they said was compassion is empathy plus motivation to help. That's it. I understand and I feel what you're going through here, and I want to help you and make it better for you. To me, that is what compassion is. So, empathy, I understand what you're going through, with the motivation to want to help. So I found that one to be one of the the best that I saw so far for the ideas for uh, compassion. And the next thing that they had on the next petal on the flower is remain gentle, kind, and understanding with your suffering and with others. Now, I want to repeat that. Remain gentle, kind, and understanding with your suffering and with others. We talk about compassion all the time. We talk about self-compassion. That, that idea that self-compassion for some people, it doesn't exist because we're so busy helping everybody else, we don't stop and help ourselves. Self-compassion is a huge, huge thing. And it's something that's really important if you want to succeed in life, business, if you want to succeed, period. It's one of those things you need to give yourself permission to be human, permission to have a down day and know that I'm okay. Everything's good. And I'm going to be self compassionate and I'm going to take the steps that I need to get myself into a better place. That idea that compassion is the empathy plus the motivation to help get better, right? And so the next petal on that flower is practicing compassion is simply helping another creature. Think about that. Compassion is simply helping. Compassion is being kind. It's showing the love. It's showing the love for another, whether that's another human, whether that's a being, whatever the other is. Compassion for another creature. That is compassion, right? And the next petal is we can practice compassion anytime, even if it's just sending good thoughts. So, did you ever, you know, think, well, I wish I could be more helpful for somebody? I wish I see them, I hear them, I'm watching their posts out on social media, and I understand what's going on. And I really feel for them. I empathize with them. And I want to be compassionate. I want to be able to help. I want to be motivated, the motivation to help them. How can I help them? Sending good thoughts does more than you think. Remember, thoughts are things, thoughts are energy. When you send good thoughts to somebody, when you send positive thoughts to somebody who may not be doing so well, when you do that, you're sending that energy out to them. You're directing it to them. And that is very powerful. If you've ever experienced Reiki in your life, for all of you out there who do Reiki, you get it. You get the energy because you can do Reiki with somebody who is right there, and you've got your hands that are never even touching their body, and yet the energy, they feel you. And you also know that it doesn't matter the distance. You could do Reiki from far away. You can send out that energy from you. So, from a compassionate standpoint, when somebody is in need and you want to help, and maybe you're a little bit too far away, just sending them those good thoughts, those good vibes, may be all they need. They just need that extra boost to help them. So, think about that when you're thinking about compassion. Now, the next petal on the flower on the Petal Mind Project says that each time we practice compassion, it grows stronger. Compassion is one of those things that as you build it, it gets stronger and stronger and stronger. So, compassion for others, for yourself, for any other creature, it's all good. It's all that energy that you're putting out there. Compassion is energy, energy with action, right? The last petal on the flower for the Petal Mind Project regarding compassion, it reads, compassion builds bridges, not walls, and increases our happiness. I love that one. That is a great statement. Compassion builds bridges, not walls, and it increases our happiness. Compassion is something we all need. It's something the world needs. If everybody every day just practiced a little bit more compassion and added compassion to their core values, just think about what we could do. Just think about the energy that would be being sent out to the world in a compassionate manner so that we could all help each other. So, this week I've got a few more quotes coming out on compassion, and a couple of them take a couple little different ideas and areas on compassion. They're all about being more compassionate with others and that self compassion, compassion for self, because it's really hard to be compassionate for others when you aren't compassionate for yourself. And we do that all the time. Think about that. We are actually spending a lot of time helping others and not helping ourselves as much, and kind of the well runs dry. And you don't want the well to run dry inside of you. You don't want to give away all of your compassion and have nothing left to give. So you need to regenerate yourself. You need to practice some self compassion so that you too can heal. Compassion for self is huge. And then just think about how many more that you can help. So I would love to hear your thoughts on what you think compassion is. If you want to put them in a note right here underneath the the video today, that would be great. Again, I went out and I looked because I have my idea of compassion, which is that idea of understanding what somebody's going through and wanting to help. And again, I love the Petal Mind Project of compassion equals empathy plus motivation to help. It just tied it all together for me. That it, to me, is compassion. That is why it is one of my core values. And I want to hear what you say about compassion. What do you think compassion is? And be careful not to confuse compassion with empathy or something else. There's subtle differences between them. And that big piece of compassion is that motivation to help. It is that action piece that goes along with it, even if that's just a positive thought, a positive prayer, something for the other person. So there you go. This is what we have for compassion. I hope you enjoy the rest of the quotes this week, and we will see you next week on Motivation Monday. Bye for now.